affecting the entire nation.
All right, I'll come back to you. Having served in of course, the cabinet in Kibaki, the late president's tenure, we're coming back to that so that we can also look if anything is akin then to the term that you served in as far as presenting a new cabinet, especially this week, is concerned. Allow me to hear the opening remarks of Martin Andati, who is a governance and political analyst. In fact, a lot of voices are coming up to say Raila should be very careful in as far as this dialogue is concerned. Are we seeing more politics in play than we're seeing the true interest of the Kenyan in play? Welcome.
Well, the first thing I'll say is it's very sad that we've lost lives.
Right.
And property. The killings which happened because of the protests were really not necessary. We didn't need to go to reach where we reached. If we had a government that listens, the public participation was very clear that the bill was not acceptable. And you know, the courts have ruled that public participation is very key. Mm-hmm. If you don't carry out public participation on most of the issues, then whatever you do will not pass the legal test. So we carried out public participation on the bill. And the people wrote a lot of memorandum, which were presented to Parliament by KEPSHA, KESHA, professional groups, the various stakeholders, and the masses out there. But the ruling political class ignored all that. And the president and his team, because they have a majority in Parliament, they managed to push the bill through. Of course, they enticed a few of the opposition MPs to also play ball.
Martin, if I cut you short, I'm sorry this is your opening remarks, but when you speak of the public participation, the Deputy President addressed the nation a few moments after the President addressed the nation at that time of the protest. And according to the Deputy President, it is that they were not fully informed and that NIS had failed the President, pretty much not about the public participation, but they lacked the understanding of what exactly was happening on the ground. You seem to have not been convinced by these remarks.
The Deputy President is part of the problem. You know, it is the height of bad manners for the President to speak. Then after he has spoken, the DP is holding a press conference after. Because when they are elected, you know, we have a pure presidential system. And the President and the Deputy are elected on the same ticket. And the President is the principal advisor, principal assistant, and he is supposed to be the first person to advise the President. They sit in cabinet. They discuss these issues. They sit in the parliamentary group meetings. The Deputy President chairs some of the subcommittees. So we would expect in a functional diplomacy and where people respect institutions, we will not have expected to see what was happening. That clearly tells you that there is dysfunction. And you know, the fallouts have come too fast because the Ruto-Uhuru fallouts were there, but it didn't, in the first 5 years, people believed it was not real. These guys have come out and told us that it is real. And you know, the DP is on record talking about shareholding, which was very negative of him. But now, you know, he's trying to reinvent himself to look like he is the saint that will save Kenyans.
Okay.
But he is out there on record saying that he has put traps in State House to make sure that Raila and anybody opposition leaning does not step there. So what the issues which we are going to discuss and which are causing all these problems are governance,
all right,
leadership, and then the chapter 6. You know, we have leadership and integrity. If we address governance issues, because that is what Gen Z is talking about, and follow the Constitution 2010, although President Ruto never believed in the Constitution 2010.
Is it?
He didn't.
I want to just hold
He
your
was
horses.
on the north side, and he finds himself in power. He still thinks he can do things using the old order, unfortunately for him.
All right.
Unfortunately.